A gift wrapped in fire. The first time the galaxy heard her name, it was spoken like a hymn. Princess Serath of the Veori Dominion, young, radiant, and beloved, had stood before her people and promised peace. The Dominion had warred for centuries, crushing weaker civilizations beneath their iron fleets. But she swore things would change. She was their symbol of reform, a voice of light in an empire of shadows. Her council smiled at her speeches, her admirers wept at her beauty, but the fleet still burned across the stars. When the Dominion encircled the Eris trade colony, she was there, not as a warrior, but as a mediator. She claimed the humans had trespassed on sacred Veari routes. The humans called it extortion. Serath raised her hand in delicate ceremony, and 3 Veari dreadnoughts unleashed hell. In one day, Eris burned. 70,000 civilians dead. The Dominion broadcast their victory, and Serath stood on the bridge, haloed in firelight, saying, "Peace can only bloom after resistance is cut down." The galaxy cheered. Humanity wept, laughter in the ashes. The Dominion celebrated as only tyrants could. Their holonets blared parades of alien generals toasting wine poured over human skulls. Commentators sneered, "Earth breeds well, but breeds weakness." Others laughed, "They make music, not war. Their fleets are relics of iron. Against plasma, they are nothing." The Dominion admired Serath's resolve. A princess who wanted peace, but understood the language of strength. She became the darling of the court, the jewel of propaganda, the smiling face of conquest. And among themselves, the Veari whispered, "Humans will bow. They always bow." They did not see what was stirring in the silence. 3. The silence breaks. The human response did not come with speeches. No declarations, no bargaining, no pleas before interstellar councils. It came in quiet evacuations, in blackened shipyards roaring to life, in coded messages to colonies that had been sleeping lions all along. Weeks later, alien traders in neutral space whispered of shadows moving through slipstreams, unmarked warships, hulls darker than the void, engines that burned with Earth's furious heart. One Veari fleet patrol went dark, then another, then another. Their wreckage drifted like coffins along the edge of the Orion Spur. And then the transmissions began. Across Dominion comm channels, a single phrase repeated, spoken in cold, deliberate Terran standard. "For Eris. For the dead. For Earth. Full." The first answer. The Dominion laughed at first. They sent a small fleet to teach the humans restraint. It never returned. Princess Serath was dispatched to the border, smiling, still carrying the mask of diplomacy. She spoke of restoring balance and maintaining galactic order. But when her fleet crossed the threshold of the Tau Gate, they saw it. The void was filled with human ships. Not sleek cruisers like the Dominions, but monsters of steel and fury. Dreadnoughts larger than cities, bristling with mass drivers that could split moons, flanked by carriers belching swarms of interceptors. They blotted out the stars. They did not advance. They waited. And then the message came. "This is Earth. Return our dead or join them." Fire upon fire. The Dominion's arrogance could not imagine defeat. They fired first. Serath gave the order, her voice trembling only slightly as the first lances of plasma cut across the black. Dozens of human ships vanished in the storm. She exhaled in relief. Perhaps the humans truly were relics. Then Earth answered. The first human salvo roared not with light, but with thunder. Kinetic strikes at near-relativistic speed. One Dominion dreadnought simply ceased to exist. Its hull, its crew, its proud banners torn apart atom by atom. The storm did not end. It grew. Railguns screamed. Orbital mines blossomed like steel flowers. Carriers opened and unleashed swarms that moved like coordinated swarms of predators, tearing Dominion interceptors apart. The Dominion's war songs turned to static, then to silence. For the first time in her life, Princess Serath felt fear. Oh! The human face amid the wreckage, a single Dominion cruiser limped free. Serath stood among the flames and smoke, staring at the broken view screen, and then she saw him, a human, standing on the bridge of a Terran dreadnought, armor black as night. Helm etched with a single symbol, the insignia of Earth Command. His eyes, cold and merciless, locked with hers across the void. There was no speech, no gloating, no mocking, only that gaze, endless, patient, terrible. She had promised peace, but looking at him she realized humanity did not want peace. Humanity wanted justice. 7th. Storms across the stars, the retaliation did not stop at the Tau Gate. Within days, human fleets were everywhere. They hit shipyards, fuel depots, trade convoys. They struck like storms, silent and sudden, annihilating everything tied to the Dominion war effort. Entire planets watched as Terran fleets descended like wrath made flesh. Armies landing with the precision of thunderstorms. Soldiers clad in iron and fury dismantling garrisons in hours. The galaxy had seen war before, but never like this. Not with this cold efficiency. Not with this endless rage. Dominion allies began to waver. Some surrendered entire systems without firing a shot, begging Earth for mercy. Others tried to switch sides. The humans accepted neither excuses nor bargains. Eris, they whispered, before burning each stronghold to ash. 8. The princess breaks Princess Serath, once the symbol of peace, found herself hunted. Her fleet shattered, her titles meaningless. She fled from system to system, each more desolate than the last. The galaxy that once adored her now cursed her name. It was her hand that had risen at Eris, her face that had smiled as humanity's children died. And still, she could not banish the memory of that human's eyes. Every night she heard them. Every silence carried their echo. Every fire mirrored their vengeance. She had wanted peace. She had believed in it. But now she understood. Peace was not given. It was enforced. And humanity enforced it with a fury older than stars. The reckoning. The Dominion's final stand came above their capital world. An armada the size of empires gathered. Banners stretching across the heavens. Every ship, every weapon they had left. Humanity arrived. The sky became a graveyard. The Dominion's suns were drowned out by Earth's wrath-given form. Dreadnoughts the size of continents, flanked by swarms of smaller vessels, forming walls of steel that advanced with slow inevitability. The battle lasted mere hours. When it ended, the Dominion was broken, its fleets reduced to drifting corpses, its leaders vaporized in cleansing fire. The human flag was planted on their capital's palace steps, and Serath, the princess who once spoke of peace, was dragged before Earth's commanders, not for trial, not for torture, for something far worse, to be ignored. To humans, she no longer mattered. Silence and fear. In the aftermath, the galaxy was silent. Trade routes emptied, councils dissolved into whispers, and rulers who once mocked humanity hid behind locked gates. The message was simple, unspoken, but undeniable. Never provoke Earth again. Survivors of the Dominion War whispered it in every corner of the galaxy. Parents taught it to their children. Admirals etched it into their war manuals, because they had seen what happened when humans were crossed. They had seen fleets that blotted out stars, armies that descended like storms, vengeance colder than the void itself. They had seen Earth answer, and they knew the truth now.